Hello everybody, back with another Commander game. This time we have Oloro versus Alesha, another pretty good commander. This hand is really good if I draw another land. I mean, it's not even really good to be honest. It's imperative that I draw another land. I'm gonna keep it though. I don't know, whatever. I've been greedy with my keeps today. Sometimes it's paid off. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, whatever. We lose, we lose. Looks like he mulled to 6. I really want to draw Soul Ring or a Mana Crypt. Give me a Soul Ring or a Mana Crypt. Because, you know, that's what every single Commander player says on turn 1 of the game. Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt, Mana Crypt, Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt. Not even a land. This next turn is just land go. And then he's going to play Alesha. So I need to draw a white source here and then a black source the next turn so that I can kill Alesha the turn that she comes into play. Otherwise, he's going to get things going and we're just going to be super far behind. There's nothing in his graveyard yet, so it's not really true. Damn tutor, perfect. Go. So we're not going to be able to have Anguish on making up unless we draw Orzhov Signet, I guess. But even if we draw that, then we're not going to have it up. So what am I talking about? Yeah, we really need to draw land here. That's so then we could just continue to do nothing next turn. But I'd rather do nothing and get a lantern in play than do nothing and fucking roll over and die. But we'll see. I kept a 2-lander with 2 basic islands and a 3-color deck. And no only blue spells in my hand, so I get what I get in this one. Not much to complain about. Oh no, 3 draws in a row, I didn't draw a land, it's so unfair. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. I kept a risky hand. That's how that plays out. No complaining. Orzhov Basilica. Bounce your guild gate. I know you want to. He didn't do it. Bummer. So he's gonna have 4 mana next turn, and we are going to have hopefully 4 mana next turn. Oh, thank God. Then we could Vamp Tutor at his end step. Good stuff. What am I gonna tutor for? Soul Ring? I don't know. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. I mean, it does matter. What am I talking about? It's just, you know, there's no, like, correct answer right now. Whatever I get is pretty much a gamble, because the odds of there being something else that I would have wished I got later is pretty high. I do have a board wipe in hand, though. So there's that. Maybe I just don't tutor for anything. Or I tutor for ramp. We'll see what he does and then we'll think about it. Because next turn I would like to play this Commander Sphere, which would leave me assuming I draw a basic land. Oh, yeah, that's a thing, huh? If I tutor, I'm not drawing a land. If I don't tutor, then it's, you know, whatever the odds are. 4 and 10, roughly. So maybe I just tutor for like Ancient Tomb. I think that's a okay, reasonable thing to do here. Tutors are hard. So many options, and a lot of the time you don't really know what the correct one is. Or it's hard to, you know, hard to know what the right one is. I think I am going to tutor for mana of some type, though. So let's say I get a Soul Ring, right? Tap this swamp and play Soul Ring next turn. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Drop the Commander Sphere. Then I have... It costs 3, so I'll go down to 2, and I'll have 1 more. So if I get Soul Ring, I could play Soul Ring, play Commander Sphere, and Anguish Unmaking next turn, if my math's right. So that's, you know, decent. What I'm trying to get at is, I'm going to go get Soul Ring. I wonder what he has in hand. I feel like he's had some weird sequencing. Like, his hand's pretty clunky. Not necessarily bad. He's just, like, playing things out in weird order, which, I mean, he might have no choice. I don't know what his hand is. I could have gotten, like, Sarah Ascendant there and just started punching him in the face. But what fun is that? I built this deck because I don't really want to punch things in the face. I want to play smart, boring as shit games that are really interesting if you like interesting decision making. But beating face is boring to me. So yeah, we are just going to do that and keep Anguish Unmaking up. There's something to be said for keeping Factor Fiction up there, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we draw a land, we get Ugin next turn. And that'd be sweet. I think I'm going to Anguish Unmaking Skull Clamp if he does nothing else. You know, if he doesn't give me a reason to do it to anything else. This is the updated Dark Confidant, so to speak. I'll take the damage. I'm not going to Skull Clamp it or I'm not going to blow up the Skull Clamp now. Gotta see what he plays first. Get all the information I can before I use my very limited removal spells. But yeah, if I Ugin next turn, tick him up to 9, kill one of these creatures, and then the next turn I have Wrath of God, so I'm just we're both having an empty board and I have an Ugin in play with 9 loyalty, or 9 minus whatever he hits it for next turn, then I think I'd be looking really good. So that's sort of how I have things drawn up in my head right now. The fuck is this? Each player discards a card. Okay. What do I discard here? I guess Factor Fiction. That makes me sad. Man, that's yeah, that's shitty. I would have really liked to have Factor Fiction up for after that whole line of play to refill my hand. But I think I really like that line of play, so I'm not going to discard the other 3 cards. I guess there's something to be said for just discarding Wrath. Because I play Ugin, And I could just minus him, right? What does that do? Each permanent with converted mana costs X or less. So yeah, no, that hit my mana rocks, so I definitely don't want to minus Ugin. If I play him, take him up to 9, kill, say this. Or I guess this one would be the one I kill. Then I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd knock him down to 4. Kill another one. Basically, I'm deciding if I need Wrath, or if I can just skip the Wrath part. I don't think I want to do that. I mean, the other way to think about it is with this Factor Fiction, what am I going to get that's better than my hand right now? Like I have good cards. Like when I Factor Fiction, I'm looking for cards like what's in my hand. So discarding one of those cards to play a draw spell doesn't seem like an ideal decision. You know what I mean? You feeling me? Land's good. Ha, that's funny. This whole play rested on me drawing a land for you again. I completely forgot about that. Drawing a land there was... Oh, I don't have to sack it. That's fun. Drawing a land there was, like, really important, actually. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I feel like those games are bad, but, like, also fun, so it's, you know, okay. Ping. I'm just gonna kill the one that lets him draw a card. So he's gonna have to play Alesha and get some of this stuff back, right? How's Alesha work again? She would have to pay 2. So 1, 2, 3 to play Alesha, 1, 2 to activate her when she attacks. So he can do that. Return creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Whenever Alesha has to attack, and she doesn't have haste. So unless he can give her haste, she can't do that next turn. Which is good. That means, pending any haste creatures, Ugin shouldn't take more than 5 damage here. So I imagine his play here is going to be Alesha. Maybe another 2-mana spell if he has it. And then I Wrath. And then I take Ugin up. And we go from there. Every turn he plays a creature, every turn I Ugin. See how it goes though. It's easy to draw that plan up in my head now, but a lot can change between now and the next couple turns. He has 3 cards in hand. That doesn't look like Alesha the way he's spending his mana. What the fuck is this guy? Oh, right. Alright, yeah, I don't care about that. So I'm gonna Wrath of God here. And then next turn he can play Alesha and start trying to get guys back, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that plan. I could try and just not like hold Wrath as long as possible, but why? This, like, I'd be basically using this instead of using Wrath, so that I could Wrath later. But instead I could just Wrath now and use this later, so like, it doesn't really matter, right? He has an empty board now, and I have an Ugin in play, and a removal spell in hand. That I can cast at instant speed. He has 2 cards in hand and a Alesha that doesn't do anything really without haste in his command zone. So I think I have this game pretty locked up, unless anything crazy happens. Of course, last time I said that, I got my face bashed in by a, what was it? What was that deck that just kicked my butt? Maybe like 2 videos ago. I can't think of it now. Holy crap, that's annoying. I just played this game like 15 minutes ago. I mean, it'll be like a couple days between it for you guys, I guess. It wasn't the Maelstrom Wanderer that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the game before that. Or maybe the game before that. I don't know. The one that reanimated everything from the graveyard and then swung at me. What deck was that? Oh, it had the CDC. That's who it was. Okay. I got there. So unless this guy does what that guy does and just kicks my butt out of nowhere. Morph, okay. I'm going to kill that morph. Do I want to draw a card with Commander's Tree here? That's a thought. I don't think so. I can do that whenever I want. Next turn I could float a mana and then do it. That would make more sense if I wanted to do it. Ping. Ponyback Brigade? Really? Guess that's an okay card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So I can't play Oloro and keep up Utter Ends, so I'm just not going to play Oloro. I'm in no rush. I got an Ugin in play. That can possibly ult in a couple turns. We'll see. He's the one that has to actively use stuff right now, not me. I could just sit back and let the Spirit Dragon do all my work for me. He's playing a deck that plays primarily cards with power 2 or less. So I think he's going to be hard-pressed to have an answer to this Ugin. He'd have to have Hero's Downfall or an O-Ring effect. I mean, there's plenty of answers he could have in those colors. He just has to, and I have to make him do that. Even an O-Ring doesn't do it because I have Utter End. Cathar's Crusade. So this is the type of thing that is worth Utter Ending, but I don't think I need to in my position. And I could do it in response to him playing a creature where it matters, if that makes sense. Do I want it to Teferi right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could Teferi and have 3 mana left, which isn't enough to Utter End. I could Teferi and minus to make sure I have mana up. Or I could Teferi and plus and hope I have a land in the top 2. I'm going to Teferi and minus, actually. Sounds a little bit silly, but it's going to be obvious to him that I'm holding on to something, but I think that's okay. He might just scoop to it, to be honest. Untap. 1, 2, 3, 4. And pass. What do you make of that, Alesha? So Cathar's Crusade is a good card. As far as, like, I don't know, getting his board big and stuff, but, like, it doesn't help him build up a board. Like, before his things get big enough to matter, I can just pick them off one at a time every turn with Ugin. And, like, worst case scenario, he plays, like, a Secure the Waste. I can just Utter End Cathar's Crusade in response. I mean, not to mention Ugin could -0 and kill all the tokens, so. Okay, I don't mind that. That's a cool card, I guess. It's like a reasonable, not tier 1 card for that effect. Maybe it is tier 1, I don't know. I don't really play decks that do things like that. I'll be honest, this Alesha deck, like, I've played against some that have been really good. It, like, impresses me, actually. Because this is the kind of commander I look at and I'm like, meh, I don't think it's very good, like, when it first came out. Like, it doesn't seem super powerful and interesting. But then I play against some decks that just beat the crap out of me with it. And I can respect... Wait. What the fuck? Return 2 creatures. Did he not do it? He has no cards in hand. He didn't play any creatures. He must have fucked up and not selected any. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. Interesting, because he has no cards in hand, so he didn't put 2 creatures in his hand. Whatever he did do. Okay, he surrendered. I was going to say, I might have not wanted to tick Teferi up, because I could play Elspeth and then just minus Teferi again, so I have mana for Utter End, you know, like we've been doing. Doesn't really matter though, you know, that's just trying to optimize at a stage of the game where I really don't think I need to worry about that. But yeah, I mean, this game's over. He has no cards in hand. He just apparently fucked up Macabre Waltz. And I have what is going to be 3 very, very strong Planeswalkers on the battlefield. So, plus he knows I have some type of instant spell since I untapped my things. And that's that. So that was a fun game from my side. Did exactly what I want this deck to do, really. Not die quickly, and then some Planeswalkers and no play, clear the board, and gain value. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.